Gundam.tk presents Master Grade Monkey D. Luffy. Hey again everybody, it's Robert1D4, 2 R's 2 B's from gudam.tk, which is gundamreviews.net, and today I'm taking a look at something that's totally different for me. It's the Master Grade Figurerise Monkey D. Luffy from the manga and anime One Piece, which is going to be my first non-Gundam Master Grade. This was first released in 2010, and it sells for 3,800 Japanese yen. Here you can see the name bar, and in the Master Grade Figurerise line, this was the 5th release after 2 from Dragon Ball and 2 Kamen Riders. And for those of you unfamiliar with it, One Piece is a long-running manga right now from Jump Comics that you can get serialized. It's got over 60 volumes of the comics and over 500 episodes of the anime, so you can imagine that this is a merchandising juggernaut, which is why it's sort of cool that Bandai tried something new with this kit here. Even though Gundam has lots of other lines besides the plastic models like GFF, Mobile Suit in Action, and the new robot Damacy, I'd have to say that the Master Grades are probably the main line for Gundam and their bread and butter, perhaps you could argue. But for Portrait of Pirates, that's probably the equivalent for One Piece, as they've got these large-scale figures. This is the Sailing Again, the new one after the time skip, if you're familiar with that, and you can check out its review, and then when this is done, I'll have a comparison of the two right here. There's some cool looking, very familiar Master Grade cover art there. You can see Luffy in his trademark sandals. He won't wear shoes with his meat and his stretching Gomu Gomu arms. The side of the box is going to be advertising a lot of things that are quite different from Gundam, starting with the fact that you're going to be getting multiple faces, 3 in total there, as you have his grin, his angry face, and his regular smug face. To go along with that, options: you can take the jacket off, it looks like, and you can have meat in hand and a cup. And you're actually going to get 2 different sets of seals. You're going to get your regular marking seals, and you're also going to get water transfers. They look identical if you want to do that and really level this guy up. In terms of scale, no, he's not 1/100th or 1/144th. It's 1/8 scale here, which means he's going to be almost 25 centimeters tall. Then they're going to talk about the actual MG Figurerise line and how they were able to bring One Piece's main character, Straw Hat Luffy, to life with this Master Grade Figurerise. And they talk about how they want to recreate the character properly, how they want to do all sorts of gimmicks. In this case, it's going to be the stretchy arms, and then they're going to have a story summary for those that are unfamiliar with the actual character. And another plus, unlike Master Grade Gundams, which do not usually include display stands, you're going to be getting a custom one. I guess it was probably the same for some of the other ones from Dragon Ball, etc., but you're going to be able to move that and move the head in all sorts of directions, so hopefully you're going to be able to get him in all sorts of cool aerial poses. To the other side, where you can see that he's going to have a neck which is going to move all over the place, and you can see that the 3 faces are actually made up of a bunch of different parts here. You've got the red for the big One Piece trademark open smile kind of things, along with holes for the eyes. I'm going to be interested to see how this all works in practice, and you're going to get different parts there for the hair. The sandals look to be properly recreated, and there's actually a joint down there in the foot that's moving. And for the joints for the legs and arms, it looks like you can stretch them out. I'm going to have to look at that more carefully when the manual inside. But you're able to pull those out so you can get over a 90-degree bend, although that looks a little bit ugly there when it's extended. Hopefully it's going to look more like this when it's actually tucked away. Here you can see some of the action poses that you're going to get with the stretchy arms and legs. I wonder if you're going to get 2 of each. Looks like it so far. And then over here you get what I wish every Gundam or Master Grade or any kit from Bandai always included, is an unpainted kit picture of the figure. So if you're lazy like me and you just take it out of the box and you don't do any lining, he's going to look like this. Now down below you can see that there's 2 faces, extra sets of hair, 2 extra hands, and then there's the ones that are holding the meat and the cups, the 2 things of transfer seals, well, the water transfers and the regular ones, the stand. And you can see here for the colors on the plates that there's going to be some white, some red. The A plate is looking pretty interesting, and a plate for hair, but I'd imagine the majority are going to be this anime skin color. So let's find out exactly what's inside, and when you crack it open, multicolored A-plate there with some decals, clear parts, black, red for the jacket, some gold down there for the sandals, white, and then, if you want to call that, the colors that are going to make up the skin to go along with the manual. The A-plate continues its tradition of being the most interesting one here. You're going to be getting all the blue that goes into the body there for mostly the shorts there. A little bit of gold over there, but it's not shiny or mechy gold or anything like that. And then you're going to have sort of a pink color here, which is going to make up the tongue and the inside of the face. And that's different from the red that you'll actually be getting from the jacket on another plate. And for the all-important straw hat, you're going to be getting lots of lining opportunities down there. I wonder which color will be good. And you're going to be getting the cup there, and then you're going to get the meat, which is the same color and lots of lining there. It's sort of fuzzy if you want to call it that. Maybe you can slap some paint around these parts here just to bring out some of the color there, because they don't seem to be giving you any seals for that. All white for the B plate, and you're going to get the bottom of the shorts, the bone there, and some teeth along with the drawstring for the hat. And you're going to have to be careful with the eyes here, it looks like, when you're making up the different faces. Onto the body parts for C, where you're going to have a whole bunch of shoulders and limbs of regular length there. You're going to get a couple parts here for hands, I suppose. They're not manipulators. And then you're going to get the 3 faces, which with its angry type, happy type, and neutral type there, it's looking pretty creepy until you actually put in the inside parts. The D plate is going to give you the parts for the upper body there, and again some regular length limbs. And I thought these were fingers at first, but they're actually the toes, even though they are webbed, so don't expect a 3-finger trigger finger split and replace that with toes there. The E plate is looking interesting because it is the ABS plate, which is going to provide most of the joints that you can see in here, and there's actually some pretty complex looking ones in there, along with the things that are looking like the slide out parts for the joints. So I look forward to seeing how this kind of ABS, inner frame if you want to call it that, is going to work. And it's sort of interesting and sort of makes sense that it's going to be the same color as the rest of the body. The F plate is going to be very black here, and you're going to get the hair and various parts there if you want to put it together that way. And you've got this one which has a bit of a dome on it, so I suppose that's going to be to put the cap on, and hopefully the hair is going to keep it in place and at the right angle. And the G, as mentioned, this red is very different, and it's going to give you just 2 halves to the jacket. Not a lot of lining though, as it's very, very smooth overall. The H plate should be familiar to anybody who's built master grades from G Gundam. You're going to be able to put some lining down there, but you'll notice that these sandal bottoms are very soft, and hopefully that's not going to cause any problems when you're actually trying to put hard plastic into it down there. The I plate is going to give you 4 complete hands, and these are filled in on the front and back, so you don't have to put 2 parts together as is normal with Gundams. And you're going to be getting 2 stretchy arms with the fists already attached, whether you want to go for pistols or bazooka. Before the J plate finishes things off with the parts that you're going to use for the extended legs, 2 for each, and the foot is not attached. I usually skip polycaps, but this is PCF2. I wonder if the F is for figure, and you've got some large ones. They're the regular soft plastic, and again, they're in that same color that we've seen throughout the kit. The included action base is labeled BAF1. I'm assuming, again, that's Figurerise there for the F. You're going to get a circular base with only 1 point to connect this to, and it looks pretty familiar if you've built the action bases for the master grades. Looks like you've got an attachment point there, and they're also going to throw in BAF3, which I wonder if this is going to be custom for Luffy, or just one that's going to fit him better than the one that's already included there. For the seals, it's good news that they're going to include 2 of them, but it's bad news that one of them, my regular decals, look like they've been out to sea for too long, and there are actually bubble lines going all the way across. Anyway, here for the water transfers, you can make out that you're going to be getting eyebrows, white eyes, various eyes in various directions. It says in the manual, be careful which eyes you're putting on which face when you do that. You've got different kinds of eyebrows, I suppose, depending whether you want them to be angry or not. And you do get a little scar down there, but it looks like that's actually chiseled into the face. So if you want to do some lining, you can go ahead and do that. You've got the friendship mark over there, some one-piece symbols, some band-aids, and then a whole bunch of emoticons and battle damage if you want to put that on. Not a lot of Gundams come with it, but you could sure make this figure look more realistic if you added them, if messed up Luffy is your style. When you're opening everything up, don't forget that you don't want to lose these screws. Gotta love the cover here for the instruction manual with the Dead or Alive Wanted poster with that price on his head at the moment. Of course, it has changed and is going to change again. Inside, you get some Adventure of Luffy written down there, the regular table of contents. The plates are all laid out, and I should mention too that there are a package of screws when you're putting this whole thing together. After you build the chest, the hair, and the arms, you get some color splash pages there, which are going to show off his various rubber abilities there. It's sort of cool that you can actually have him cross his legs as he sits down on the deck to have a kampai with his crew there. I think that's when Usopp joined the team. Anyway, after that you can build the rest of the body, put the legs together, and then there's going to be a pull-out page on the back where they explain the stand. And after that there's going to be a whole bunch of option parts listed at the end, which is going to include the different faces. Again, be careful with the eye stickers when you're putting them on, make sure you choose wisely. And then you can have the stretched out parts as it is there before moving on to the back, which in addition to talking about how to use the various kinds of marking seals, well I have 2 instead of various, then it's going to talk about here which stickers and how you should be careful when you're putting that together. Down here, if you want to do the eye variations, where to put the extra marks, and you actually get a sticker there to put some beer into his mug, how you can do the different faces, and where you can put on battle damage. And then you actually have a fairly detailed painting guide, which is going to go into detail for things even like the meat and how to do the different parts for the white on his shorts, and of course the 1-point step. If you add a $2 lining marker, just by doing that, you can really bring out the eyebrows, scar, and everything else with very little effort and ignoring the seals. So that'll wrap up my unboxing, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed so far with what I've seen from the contents. Looks like you're gonna have to do some work if you want to add some lining, and just to fix up those colors, it may come across as looking too plasticky. But anyway, what I'm really curious about is just the internals, and if everything is going to work in terms of joints, and if this will live up to the high name of Master Grade. So anyway, everybody, I hope you stay around to check that out. And don't forget, you can check out my review of the Portraits of Pirates Luffy as well. Anyway, everybody, Robert184 gudam.tk. Thanks for watching.